Oh, well, here we are again. On the subject of Bob Dylan again, um, what I meant, now let's face it, in 1965, this was the coolest dude on the planet. Hands down. Now, I like a little bit before that and not much after. So, to what I was trying to say about Highway 61 Revisited was 1965 now. Out of Our Heads, the Rolling Stones, damn good album. A couple of pretty weak tracks on it, but all in all, not bad. You know, because it's got Satisfaction on it. And 1965, the Beatles, Rubber Soul, some really good tracks on that. Nowhere Man. It's just, but John Lennon could sort of, he was singing from his own pain, of his childhood and all that, and feeling abandoned, etc. So you could feel his pain in songs like Nowhere Man, and you could sort of get a feeling for it. But so let's say it's 1965. How many great albums came out in 1965? Well, Rubber Soul's not great, but it's damn good. Out of Our Heads is not great, but it's damn good. Except the Spider and the Fly and West Coast Promo Man. 1965, the year before or earlier in 65, was Bringing It All Back Home, and that, look, I'm an old guy. I can say what I fucking want. I'm gonna say it because look. Gumby's saying hi guys, and Pokey's saying Gumby, be careful. There's monsters out there. Oh look, here's my latest stray cat. Have a check him out. Come here. This is Fluffy. Hello. I'm a cat. I'm going to sit down now. Ooh. Yes. So I've watched a few vids today where the Bob Dylan has been mentioned, so I just had to do it again. Now, let's cut to the chase. What I'm trying to say is that as a 14-year-old, as you're going through, becoming, testosterone and sex and all that sort of stuff, not really knowing who you are or where you're going, things like the Beatles and the Stones were sort of, they weren't the medicine. They weren't they were just a palliative, and I'll never forget it. I mean, honest to God, Highway 61 Revisited, that just knocked my socks off. It's the first album where someone has written all the songs themselves, no cover versions. I'm talking in the pop field, and not rock, because there was no rock then. People forget this. Um, uh, yes, hang on, Fluffy. You just sit there now. Fluffy's a funny little cat. He's a stray that's been mistreated, and he wants to keep shaking my hands. Okay, Fluffy, you stay down there. But that thing where, sexual identity, I'm sure most males have been through this, it's just like you've got to find where you're going at that. And that Bob Dylan uh, was so important to me in 1965 in that even though he's a bit of a trickster and a bit of a charlatan, but when he sang that opening chords, notes, or whatever you call that organ, Al Cooper had never played an organ in his life, and just the way it opens, that's the snap of the drum and the organ, you know you're in for it. And like a Rolling Stone, it's just like you cannot imagine how important that track in particular is. But it's a strong album in itself. Ballad of a Thin Man, Desolation Row. It was like for younger people that didn't grow up through this, they just hear it in retrospect and they just go, well, what's so special? Well, you got to you don't understand that there was no rock, there was no heavy metal, there was no rap crap, there was, there was, it was like, and he, in that song, I knew I was going to suffer pain in love and sex without really knowing it, but somehow I felt it, and I could feel that song. He means it in that song. The put down. My second favourite song after Like a Rolling Stone is, of course, Positively 4th Street. It's almost the same thing again, of feeling, just you can. What I'm trying to say, and this is going on and on too much again. He genuinely means it. You can feel, and I'm talking Bob Dylan in 1965, 66, where he was the romantic um, ideal um, the of the female um, being hurt in love and hurting others. Um, you don't know these things when you're 14, but I sort of got an inkling from that album. I played it again and again and again and again, and it's still, probably the most important album of the 1960s. Forget Pet Sounds. It's just, apart from God Only Knows, it's just nothing. So um, he he meant it. You know what I mean? And you could feel it, like you were going, "Hey, this isn't Herman's Hermits. This is someone that's been, going through extreme emotional changes with every, you know, it's just trying to put it in words. And as much as I only like Bob Dylan in the 60s, and that's it. And I've got Hurricane on a single. I've had a couple of, I did buy a couple of, the one, what's it called? Blood on It tracks. And a few of those, but they were just mere shadows of what he'd done before. And this is, I'm going to start this again. No, I'm not. Um, yeah, he was born on the 24th of May, and I sort of, it was like a premonition when I heard Highway 61, Like a Rolling Stone, and Positively 4th Street, I Want You off Blonde on Blonde. I felt something really, really powerful in those songs when I was 14 to 15 years old. And then 10 or so years later, I actually met a female that was born on the 24th of May, another tricky Gemini. Um, and I thought, this, I thought, this is the girl that's going to break my heart. Not the first one, but the one that's going to really do it. And then I thought, yes, that is what Like a Rolling Stone, Positively 4th Street, and I Want You was all about for Bob Dylan. He'd been really hurt, and he was really vicious in his put down in those songs. But for instance, in I Want You, there's no put down whatsoever. It's the romantic. He really means it in those songs. That's enough. Um, anyway, hey Fluffy, say hello to everybody. Where are you, Fluffy? There you are. Cuckoo, gaga. Mm. Hey, hey,